Hey guys, this is Cadma from Bitten Apple TV here at Toyfair, and we're here with Shifu, teaching father. So Vivek, would you like to tell us what you were teaching us here today?
Sure. Thank you so much. We are launching something called Shifu Tacto this June. It is our take on board games. What this does is you download the Shifu Tacto app on any tablet. It can be Android or iOS, and it converts it tablet into a board game. And then you can buy these figurine sets which work with the board games. For example, Laser is one of the board games that we are launching in which kids learn and practice principles of physics, reflection, light, lasers. You can put a laser gun on spot and it activates a laser beam. And the objective here is to try to protect your planet from this asteroid that is heading towards your planet. Since the rocks are in between, you have to use mirrors to reflect the laser beam and hit the asteroid. So you create a system of, and as the level progresses, you have to use multiple mirrors and the laser gun. So that was one of the games. Snakes and Ladder is the game that we're launching, just converting the traditional board game that kids love into a board game that is much more animated in nature. So it's a two-player game. The first player takes the dice, puts it up on the screen, and they get a number, and the number is 1. So now the rabbit you can go and put it up. Yes. Exactly. So rabbit moved one place, and then the table turns. Now it's my turn. I take the dice, I put it up here, and I also get a 1. So it's a fair square game. So I can move my squirrel one place, and the game continues. Whosoever reaches the cupcake first wins. So it's a fun take on that game. We are launching 2 more games. One is practicing chemistry with elements, so kids can form bondage between different, since this is a sodium carbonate, so kids have to know they can take oxygen and they can place up. It needs 3 oxygen and it's carbon, and let me try and see if I can get you a sodium. So I take, and there you go. It needs actually 2 sodium, sorry. And then the bonding formation happens. So kids learn how NO2CO3 is actually sodium carbonate and what it does. It's a fun take on chemistry and get kids excited about STEM and learning. And the 4th game is Quest. It is a game around strategy. So kids are finding all the hidden gems in the scene, and they have these figurines which have superpowers, each of them. So for example, the first scene is too dark, so I take the figurine with the firepower, and as soon as I put it up, fire comes in and I can see in the screen what is there. And next I can take my hammer figurine and break the rocks to see whether there is a gem which is hidden below them, or maybe the logs. So there it is. And now I take my collection figurine, which is a bag, and I can put it up here and I can collect the rocks, and the scene progresses. Every level requires you to use the resources wisely, so it's a strategy game. So these are the 4 board games that we are launching under the Shifu Tacto brand.
Oh my god, and what other products do you have?
So I'd love to show you how this works is you get this mat which is modular in nature, and you can put any of your smart device. It can be phone, tablet, Android or iOS. And then you put this, and then you are playing games which are around words and letters. So for example, if kids want to play jungle game, they can choose this Jungles of Oko game, and this one throws them challenges in the form of hidden animals, and kids have to find out. So there are 3 hidden animals there. Let's say kids want to do hippo, so what they do is they take an edge, they put it up here, and it goes close to the hippo. Now they can spell out the whole hippo for the hippo to come out and animate. So let's take side down. You do that and it spells, and then you have 2 more P's. And as soon as you do that, it tells them that they've found the hippo, and it animates. And there are lots of hidden animals, so one by one they have to uncover all the hidden animals.
The animals, as well as learn how to spell the names and everything. That's
the power of Lugo really comes into the picture when you swap out the letters kit, and now you're playing numbers game. In this one, there are stories around numbers, so kids can choose, let's say, space-based game, and it throws them challenges in the form of numbers. So this is a ship which is trying to go through the solar system, and from planet to planet it tries to cross, and it faces challenges in the form of maths. So So now this is saying that which is a lower number. So this is a great setting for 4-year-old. So this is the questions I would aptitude to that. You can take 2 and put it up here. As soon as you put, it recognizes that and the rocket is able to cross. And the questions progress. The fun thing is, if your kid actually knows this stuff, what you can do is go back in here and change what your kid wants to learn. So let's say I want to edit the curriculum. I don't want to do counting, addition. I want to do subtraction and multiplication. Now you save that. Now you go back to the same game or any other game and you will start seeing only subtraction and multiplication questions. So this is a fox game, Numero, going through a jungle, and she's trying to reach home, but she's facing a lot of maths problem in between. So kids have to help her out with this. So now, what is the missing number? This is a subtraction equation. So you take 2 and you can put it up here, and the fox is now able to cross. So you helped her. So it kind of story.
I like the fact that you can actually change it, because sometimes kids learn very quickly what the programs are and they memorize the answer, but they don't know how to get the answer. So Leilani, I'm coming for you because I know you have those game memorized. And
this one is Link. It's a building block kit like Lego pieces, but magnetic in nature.
Okay.
And again, there are multiple games. Kids can choose whatever they want to play. Each of them come with 100 levels each, so it's a month-on-month gameplay. This one is a memory game where kids have to memorize the shape and recreate it in the physical world. So that's the shape, and they have to build the shape here. As they build, the app gives them feedback. You can go ahead and try. Yes.
Yes, that's perfect. I'm a Scorpio, that's why. Perfect.
So we just did letters, we did numbers, we did building blocks. This is a completely new kit. Now this is something around music. So kids who want to practice songs and learn how to play piano, all they have to do is their color dots falling. You just have to map the colors and hit the same color key.
That's actually cool.
And you have more than 50 songs here that you can practice. And those kids who want to learn about the basics of how the kids work, we have chords, we have notes, memorizing. So all things that related to
music, they can actually learn how to read music and understand.
This one is a fun game on, again, physics, but
the upgrade of Duck Hunt. Is this what this is?
So we don't kill animals here, so we are good. So this one is one of the games where this magician is trying to practice and she's going wrong, and we have to help her learn how to convert. So, for example, she tried to convert that turtle into a bigger turtle, but she converted it into a chicken. So what we have to do is take an aim and convert it back. So this is a projectile motion game where you keep on taking an aim. Yes, and so it's like Flappy Birds, but in physical kit where you're launching and actually solving problems. And we have multiple games with this also. This is a match shape and pattern game where kids are constantly trying to match patterns and shapes. For example, this one is a colors game. So you have to match a color. So you take it, you can go ahead and try. Yeah, so green, you have to match it with the green and release it. Yep. So you just release it a little faster. Now you have to match purple. Purple. Yes. Perfect. Yes. Good job. So that was Plugo. This one is not working, but it's a steer game where you can drive around a rover, you can drive around a plane. Those games. So that's the second gaming system that we have.
Oh my God. This is, I'm sorry for spinning. There's just so much here. So one, I love what you're going to be launching out soon. The fact that they can be very interactive with the game. They can learn about science, learn about chemistry, which is actually very important, kids. You may not think so as you get older, but it's important for everything. When down to making even your coffee, doing your hair. Chemistry is in everything, and I loved chemistry. wasn't supposed to blow up half the stuff I did in high school, but that's not the point. But there's a lot. You have the music on there, and then now they're learning their numbers, and it's interactive. So I like how you're blending in technology along with the physical realm of a kid's understanding, because some kids are the kind of learner where they're hands-on. Some can just listen, and others learn by watching, and you're combining all three learning tactics for them to be able to absorb the information as much as possible. So I think that's pretty cool. And I also like the fact that for the math one, you can change the program in case if they have it memorized and they told you that they know the answer. Now you can really do that. How long did it take you to kind of just pull all this together, and what was the original inspiration for this?
So we've been around for 3 years now. We're a startup based out of Bangalore in India, as well as Bay Area in US. Both Dinesh and I, who started PlayShifu, are parents of 4-year-old and 6-year-old. And this is something that we personally felt the kids are so much attracted to screen these days, and screen is a big concern because they are sitting around, they're not thinking, and what we wanted to do was convert that screen time into a thinking brain time.
Do you have anything like that for adults? Because there are a lot of adults I know who do that too.
Hopefully one day, but right now what we want to do is this Gen Z, who are deep into technology, deep into screens, bring their upbringing in a right manner so that they can actually be far more than what we have been in when they grow up. So when they do actually things hands-on, we ridicule the motor skills so much that everybody actually kind of grows up fine. But when you go become a surgeon, you'll realize how much important that fine motor skills early on were. So if they're building blocks like these and fine motor skills, they're actually becoming far more adept with their hands, which actually becomes very useful later on in their life.
Yeah, some people just don't realize how useful those small things you did as a kid. You're like, yeah, that doesn't mean anything. And then later on as an adult, you're like, oh, I get it now. I'm also just personally curious, will you be doing any, interactive games with languages?
So we did a take on that with English, and we are having very good success. We have very good retention rates on that game. We are planning to do a lot more on spoken. So our technology strong suit is visual layer. As you can understand, AR is what we do really well. But we are working really hard on our voice recognition program, where we can understand what kids are speaking and try to take them to the right pronunciation of everything that they speak of. So vocab is something that we are working on next, and that will be launching next year.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Obviously, I was a huge nerd in school, so all these things are like right in my area, and I'm like, yeah, science, languages. I was nosy. I love this. What you have here is amazing. I'm sorry, I'm just like very much in love. Like I saw your other booth, but I didn't get a chance to talk to her, and then I'm like, they're not busy right here. Let me go check over there and stalk them and see what's going on.
I wanted to tell was, you see a lot of toys here, you see a lot of digital games here. What we have learned is when you try to mix those two, typically the retention rate with kids, the engagement factor with kids is 10x. So typically a game or a toy lasts with kids for 7 days, after which they get bored of it. Either they delete the game or they put that toy in the shelf and it comes back 3 months later. What we have seen is with Plugo, we have more than 60% kids playing in the second month, in the third month, which is 10 to 20x better than any other typical toy. Why is that happening is we are able to change the gameplay every time they come back. So they never are playing with the same game again and again. And it is physical in nature. So they are actually moving their hands, which makes it much more interactive in nature. So that's the biggest learning that we have.
I see a globe over there. What does the globe do? I'm sorry, I'm just all in your company. Like, what's this?
AR globe. Can I give you? Yeah. So thank you so much. So this is an AR globe.
That's my intern.
So how this works is we have 3 different variants of globe. One is a prehistoric Earth, one is a Mars, and one is the cultural globe. You can download the app and then you can go to any part of the globe, scan using our app, and then start seeing dinosaurs on that region. So these are the 3 dinosaurs in the South America region, and then you can click on any of them and start learning about these dinosaurs. So this is Gigantosaurus, and if you want to see them closely, what you can do is click on this, take it up here, and then you can load the Gigantosaurus there, and then you can go around, look at it from any angles. We're going to do interactions where you can wrap its tail, and
That guy doesn't even know what he just walked into. That was dangerous.
If you want to compare, what you can do is, let's say you want to see what Ankylosaurus and Diplodocus look like. So I'm going to here load Diplodocus and Ankylosaurus. So that's Ankylosaurus for you, and that's Diplodocus for you. So you can compare the sizes and tell how big Diplodocus is versus Ankylosaurus.
We know who's going to win that fight.
So that's an experience, deep experience around dinosaurs. But we have, the traditional AR globe, which talks about culture, knowledge. So this one is, you can go to any part of the globe, let's say Europe. If you want to explore Europe, you go and scan, and then you start seeing animals from Europe. We have cultural things, what people do across the world.
Wow.
We have food that people eat across, inventions that have happened, monuments, and if kids want to learn more, let's say culture, they want to learn about. It's all 3D animated. There's well-researched content. There's history behind it. There's a trivia for kids who love trivia, and they can answer that. So it's a fun take on cultural, general knowledge, geography, and there are multiple mini games with trivias that kids can play along with the globe.
All I had was a Britannica encyclopedia. Like, come on, you guys should have just waited later to have me. I'm just putting that out there. I really do love what you have, and I love how interactive and educated. Oh my God, I'm just kind of taken back by your product. So, and I can see why kids would still be engaged in it. And that's very true. A lot of the things that I played with, not that Mom, before you call me and yell at me, I did appreciate the stuff, but she was living vicariously through me, all the stuff that she wanted. And most of the stuff that I was attracted to were all the things that I felt was the most interactive, or things that required me to use my imagination. So definitely keep up the amazing work. I definitely want to see like more languages on there. I want to see Spanish, I want to see Mandarin, Japanese, because these are all learning skills that kids are eventually, they think they may or may not need until they need a job at 25 and they're like, oh, I should have paid attention in school. Thank you so much, and keep up the amazing work. All right, so this is my this is why I should have had these toys as a kid growing up, because I completely forgot to ask, where can people find you so they can stalk you as well and get these games for their kids?
So we are available on our website. All of this is available, www.playshifu.com. We are also on Amazon, and we are in Barnes & Noble stores. We are in Apple stores, so you can find us all of these places.
Okay, do that so your kids don't do what I just did. So thank you. Bye.